Thank you so much, team. Well, this week, the biggest names in media gathered in Discop, which is the biggest media convention in Africa. And this was to discuss programming in Africa. So many big names in showbiz. Thankfully, we had our Thenji there to bring us all the details.
Discop Africa is the continent's #1 market for film and television. It's where broadcasters, advertisers, creators and influencers meet and innovate the way forward for media.
All year round, people like me and the crew and even the editor who put this insert together are working tirelessly to bring you cutting-edge, entertaining content for you to enjoy. But we can't do it without a great deal of support. And you'll be surprised how many different kinds of organizations and institutions that provide the support and make sure that our industry grows.
Digital storytelling appears to be the draw card for the next generation of viewing audiences, and partnerships like the one between Turner Africa and Animation South Africa is already laying the groundwork for the future of film and television.
Kids will relate with stories if they're good. Doesn't matter the color of the character or where they're based or where they live or what they experience. It's really, is the story funny or not? So it's not necessarily the design. It's important, of course, but it's the story behind it. So that's a trend we see everywhere. But in Africa, I would say that it's even more valid, because we see that there's a lot of kids TV watching and they enjoy this. They enjoy the good stories that are being told.
The event brings together international and domestic film and television producers, business moguls in distribution and marketing, as well as bloggers, journalists and new media trendsetters who have the opportunity to meet with big broadcasters like Channel Africa.
We see ourselves as people, and we see our content absolutely as global, but specifically around the African diaspora. So wherever there are people of the African diaspora is where you'll find the Africa Channel.
Are there any particular shows that have become favorites?
Well, so the difficult part for me is singling any one of them out. In all of our content, what we hope to do, whether it's through lifestyle, culture, the arts, information, what we always want to do is make sure that we're presenting Africans as people who are self-determining.
Content is key to the film and television industries, and they need young storytellers who are willing to face the industry challenges head-on.
It's time that Africa tells its own story. We must position ourselves in the global scheme of things. And I think that's where we're going. You know, it's Africa's turn to shine. You know, the world is coming to Africa. The world is consuming African content. Our stories, they now resonate broadly in the global space, and it's something we need to take advantage of, because it's our narrative and we need to be in control of the African narrative, and that's where the future of this business is going to be.
I think that as long as we're living in the world that we're in today, where programming can be transmitted and propagated virtually anywhere, I like to say that you never know who's watching you. So you never know to whom you are speaking. You never know where that program will be seen, because, I mean, who knew 4 years ago that Expresso would be on the air in Los Angeles and I'd be sitting in my house in LA watching you? But that is what's happened. It's vital, therefore, that Africans have the opportunity to define for themselves, too, what Africa is and who Africans are, that it's not always perceived through that old lens that was perpetuated by a colonialist mentality.
With an abundance of broadcasters, funding organizations, content producers and artists like animators, it is clear there is an abundance of talent. And with such a hungry African audience, there are endless opportunities. So now viewers can look forward to even more great stuff.